Several years here at the TV show, we've put out a challenge to our good friend and pro angler, Jerry Gostinek. We've taken him out of his home smallmouth bass fishing lake at Lake St. Clair and asked him to take us bass fishing up on some of the northern Michigan lakes. The beginning of the month found Jimmy and I just north of Alpena, fishing Grand Lake and Long Lake. We were meeting up with old friend and pro angler Jerry Gostinek and his buddy Pete Smith. Jerry and Pete had fished Long Lake earlier in the day and dropped the boat into Grand Lake just before we arrived. With crew and camera on board, it was time to get fishing.
Yeah, Jenny, where are we at? What's going on?
Well, we're on Grand Lake up in Presque Isle County. It's the beginning of June, and you'd swear it's about the middle of November out here today. It's unbelievable. Jerry's got his knit hat on, for crying out loud. A little breezy, a little cool, but we're hoping to get into the smallies out here.
He says this is a good bass lake.
Yeah, that's what he said. He actually said it's a bass factory, so I think that's a good thing.
Well, what seems to be the ticket on these lakes?
Well, right now, I mean, the bass, we're well after Memorial Day. It's June 2nd, and the water temperature, literally, I was up here a couple weeks ago, and the water temperature has not changed in 2 weeks. So most of the bass are, they're normally full-blown spawn right now, but we're actually going to be fishing a lot of pre-spawn stuff today. And rattle traps are real good pre-spawn bait. So
that's the ticket, eh?
We'll see here.
Well, Jerry, Pete, and I were all flinging baits out there and hoping to connect with a smallmouth. As luck would have it, Jimmy had a cast on his wrist that made it impossible to fish, but he was still able to run the camera. So I had to take a hit for the team and run the rod today. There we go. That.
Nice northern Michigan bass.
Yeah, we got one in the boat finally. We had a couple of them messing around out there, but they're giving us a rough go so far. But
nice job, Jenny.
Yeah. Alrighty. The cold weather, wind, and cooler water temps were making it a little challenging out here today, but Jerry still enjoys even a slow day of fishing.
We're going on 14 years of being a full-time guide, and I had just as much fun today as I did the first day I started. I mean, it's probably one of the most exciting freshwater fish to catch. I mean, even though they were little guys, 2-pounders, they were hammering that thing, and just very aggressive fish. They're fun, they're plentiful, and there's just a great fight to them. When I hooked this guy, he was really dark.
Yeah.
And then as I was bringing him in, he really lightened up in the color. And what happens is when those bass are on the nest and they're undisturbed, it's kind of, they'll be real black. As soon as you hook them or approach them, they'll lighten up in color, and it's one of their defense mechanisms when they're on the bed. Nice little guy, probably just a keeper, 14-incher. One of the reasons I like Grand Lake and Long Lake up here in the Alpena area, they're tremendous smallmouth fisheries. And they don't get the pressure that the lakes over on the Traverse City side do. There's a lot more population over there, and these guys are kind of way out of the way from everybody. But they're great fisheries, and it gives me a little break from guiding, downstate in Detroit, and just great fisheries up here.
Pinky does the trick.
Yeah, pink's a great color for smallies.
Well, for blind guys like me, you can see it.
Nice job, young fella.
Thank you.
Tell me what happened today earlier at Long.
Well, earlier today at Long Lake, we probably caught 25 or 30 bass in like 3 hours. And usually these lakes fish identical, so I figured we could do the same thing here. And it hasn't been the case yet. We've been out for a couple hours, and
you wanted to keep the hot spot to yourself.
Right. We may visit that tomorrow, though, if we need to.
Well, after a few hours of slower fishing, the guys decided to call it an evening, pull the boat out of Grand Lake, and try Long Lake in the morning. After a comfortable stay at the Alpena Holiday Inn, we headed out to Long Lake. The winds had picked up even more. Jerry and Pete put together a game plan to try to find a spot where we might be able to get out of the strong winds and find some fish. Summertime in Michigan.
There ain't no cure. Yeah, this is crazy.
For the North Winter Blues. What do you think, Pete?
Well, it's a bit cool. That's what I think. June 3rd,
Oh, it is a little
41.
chilly. With the wind chill, it's got to be
Yeah.
mid-30s.
But it's a good thing that I'm adequately dressed.
That's
you know what I'm
good.
saying?
It was definitely chilly out here this morning, but Jerry got us tucked up into a good spot out of the wind and where he said it looked like the fish might have some beds. And Jerry was right. After just a few short minutes, he was on the fish.
Take them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right there, you know what's happening right now with this real cold weather is a lot of, this is a, typical male here, probably 15, 16 incher, and a lot of these guys are up on the beds right now. These are the first, the males will come up on the nest first and actually fan it out and get it ready for the bigger females to come on. And that's what he's up there doing. You see some of these speckles on his belly too? You only see that on him right around the spawn.
Really? What's
Yep.
that from?
I'm not exactly sure, but they get that little mottled look to their belly during this time of the year. It's the only time of the year you see it. So, nice guy, probably 2-pounder.
Well, that was just the beginning of our morning. The bite was on, and Jerry was putting us on fish after fish. It made for an action-packed time out here.
There you go.
Move that one with a spinner bait.
That's a little male.
That's the little one. Yep, that is tender.
What's going on with the back of the boat there, Olson?
A whole lot of nothing right now.
That's what we're looking for.
Good long leg bass right there.
Good one.
Yeah, decent one. Probably 2.5.
Way to go, Jenny O.
Got one of the little scrappers. Yeah,
That's a nice little fish.
sure. I'll take it.
Another little male. Ooh, that's nice one. That one's a female there.
Boy, he is dark.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
The guys want bigger ones. I'm happy with these medium-sized fish. The fishing here on Long Lake was definitely what we were looking for. It just goes to show you that even in extremely adverse conditions, pros like Jerry Gostinek can get the job done anyway. Make it a point this summer to get out on the water for some smallmouth bass. You'll be glad you did. Well, thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Come